afternoon. Yeah. Well, here we are. We finally got to get everybody together and bring this thing to kind of a point to where we can crown a new queen and hear from our previous queen. And it's been a battle, to be honest. It's been a little bit different. We've all had to kind of live outside the box and do things we haven't been comfortable doing, and moving out of our comfort zone is kind of a new word for all of us too in the fair business, and especially in this queen business. But here we are. We finally made it happen, and unfortunately we weren't able to do it in Columbus like we planned. Most of you know we always try to do this at the convention in Columbus. We didn't have a convention this year. Everything was by Zoom or online or however you want to put it. We were able to finally pull the plug. We kept waiting on things to change. Hopefully we could do something bigger. We didn't see or couldn't wait much longer to this point, so we finally come to the decision we got to make some dates. And so we set some dates. The committee set some dates. We set the dates for our district events. We set the dates for this event we're having here today, and here we are. So with that, my name is Tim Massey, and as of right now, I guess I'm chairman of the Queen Committee. I want to introduce, I've got a couple other Queen Committee members here with me. Dan Martin standing back there in the back. Raise your hand, Dan. Dan and I have worked on this committee for several years. Roger Smith, he's worked with us the last couple, 3 years, I think, on the committee, and we've got several others that couldn't be here today. But it takes a lot of people to make this thing happen. I also want to thank Bev Fisher, who was the chair of the Queen Committee for several years now. Bev has done a ton of work, especially this year, with trying to set things up. She finally pulled things together. Now, keep this in mind, she had to set up basically 10 events. That's 10 sets of judges, 10 locations, 10 everything to make this happen to get to this point. So I want to thank Deb, who's not here today, immensely for all the work and leadership she has put forth. She basically had everything ready to go for this event, and here we are, and thanks to her, she's had everything put together, and we made it happen today. So thank you, Deb. I also want to recognize our presenting sponsor, the Eagle Golf Cart Company of Carroll, Ohio. They've been our presenting sponsor for several years. And I also want to recognize our other sponsors. Those include not only the Eagle Golf Cart Company, but the Ohio Soybean Farmers, the Willowdale Golf Cart Company, the Ohio Horsemen's Association, and Syngenta. And they've all come together. I think Syngenta sponsored our Queen gift bag that each of you young ladies receive back at your district events. We've got roses and flowers and sashes and a lot of things that were made possible by all of our sponsors. So we thank our sponsors for making this happen as well. Before we get too far into our program, I want to recognize our Ohio Fair Managers Association officers and directors that are present. But before I do that, I want to introduce something much more important than that, and that's our Ohio Fairs Queen, Mackenzie Road. And there's another Michelle sitting back here. Do you have any dollars with you?
Yes, I have my dad, Douglas Hogue, and then my two older brothers, Mitch and Ben Hogue, sitting up here front and center, as they should. So.
I guess I should check with you, see how you do right here. Also with us, we have our president of the Ohio Fair Managers Association, Mr. Rod Arter, Rod, and his wife, Rhonda. Rhonda's sitting back there. She's too shy to get up and stand. She's been working hard, hasn't she? We also have with us District Director 6, and also here in the Hartford Independent Fair, Roger Smith. And his wife, Debbie. We have our executive director team. We have at least a better half of the executive director team here. That's Teresa Call. Teresa. We have District Director Wade Flory and his friend Dorothy. Wade. We have at-large Director Greta Gray. I've introduced this ugly guy before, but Dan Martin back in the back of the room. Our teacher's giving a hard time. Dan from Maryland Butler County is also a past president of the Ohio Fair Manager Association. And last but definitely not least, I need to introduce my wife, Pamela Manson. It's a long drive home, and I didn't want to forget to mention her name. Did I miss anybody, Dan? Rob? Did I get everybody covered? All right. Well, at this time, with Mackenzie's assistance, we're going to have, well, and I want to back up here too. Normally we have a little bit of practice time to do some of these things that we're going to do today, so bear with the girls. They're going to do this off cut. They don't even know what we're doing. They're just going to follow our instructions throughout the afternoon. But we'll make it happen. But normally we do have some practice sessions to do what we're going to do now. But we will make this happen with these 9 young ladies. So I'm going to turn the microphone over to Mackenzie, and she's going to help all of our 9 contestants to come up one at a time in order by your district. Introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit something about yourself real quick, and have a seat up here behind us, and then we'll proceed with the program after that. Okay?
All right, before we begin introducing you lovely young ladies, we had just an amazing process. You guys got to be able to kind of have an extended version of what I got to have in Columbus in 2020. But before we do that, the way that I got here was by a few wonderful judges, and a couple of them got to judge you today, and I would love to introduce them before we get to introduce you. So, first, Ann Blair. Ann has been a realtor for 18 years and broker and owner of Remax Rising in Burton for the past 2, and currently resides as the president of the Great Geauga County Fair Auxiliary, as well as a member for the past 14 years. In her spare time, she enjoys volunteering in her community, as well as enjoying camping as much as possible with her husband Rick and her fur child Lily. Thank you, Ann. Next, Julie Dalzell. Julie is a retired 4-H educator from Butler County and worked for the OSU Extension for 36 years. Following retirement, she served as a junior fair coordinator for 4 years in Butler County. Her husband Jim was a 4-H advisor, and her 3 adult children who are involved in 4-H and served on the junior fair board. Her and her husband now spend their time babysitting their 2 grandchildren, Charlie, age 7, and Claire, age 5. Lastly, Sandy Free. Sandy and her husband Chuck farm in Ross County. They have 4 children and 11 grandchildren and 1 great-grandson. Sandy is on the Ross County Fair Board and Greenfield Exempted Village School Board. She's a greeter at church, but her best job of all is babysitting her grandkids. Her daughter, Kristen, was the 2007 Ross County Fair Queen and 2009 Ohio Fairs Queen. Sandy would like to wish all of the girls here the best of luck. Now, for the main event, District 1.
I am Gomer Alexander, and I am from Wood County. I am currently a junior at the University of Toledo studying communications and marketing, and I hope to be earning my master's degree in ag communications, leadership, and education in the next few years.
District 2.
Hi, my name is Alicia Kanapke, and I'm the District 2 representative. I'm from Mercer County, and I attend Wright State University Lake Campus, where I'm majoring in agriculture with a minor in organizational leadership.
Hi everyone, I'm Mosey Von Rye, and I am proudly representing the birthplace of 4-H, Clark County, and I'm also the District 3 representative. I am an incoming sophomore at The Ohio State University, majoring in psychology with a minor in substance misuse and addiction. Thank you.
Hello and good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sarah Newsom. Today I'm representing Highland County as well as District 4. I will be entering my senior year at Hillsborough High School in the fall, and I also take classes at The Ohio State University in psychology and neuroscience.
Hello everyone, my name is Natalie Snyder, and I'm representing Richland County as well as District 5. And I'm currently a student at The Ohio State University, ATI, studying agricultural communications with hopes in going to graphic design school. Hello everyone, I'm Hannah Henry. I'm a senior at Canal Winchester High School, and this fall I'm going to be attending The Ohio State University with a major in nursing. I'm also the Fairfield County Fair Queen and representing District 6. Hello everyone, my name is Abby Van Sickle, and I am the District 7 Queen. I am currently the 2020 Miss Cadia County, and I just finished my freshman year at the University of Rio Grande, where I'm studying special education. Thank you.
District 8. Hello everyone, my name is Fina Watkins, and I represent Guernsey County in District 8. A fun fact is that I'm graduating today, but after graduation, I will be attending the Ohio State University Agricultural Technical Institute to major in Ag Communications.
And finally, District 9.
Hi everyone, I'm Grace Steiner. I am the 2020 Stark County Fair Queen as well as the District 9 representative. And I'm a recent graduate of Akron Early College High School, and this fall I will be attending the University of Akron, majoring in biology with a minor in business.
They know they're going to play jump rope. What do you think? Let's give these girls a big round of applause. You know, we always tell these girls that even at the convention when we had it, our night before, we always got together with the girls on our kind of our easy evening and relaxing evening, getting to know each other. Every one of these girls are winners or they wouldn't be here today. Every one of them are winners of their respective fairs, and they've taken it a step farther and won their respective districts. So each one of you young ladies are winners. Unfortunately, we're only going to be able to pick one winner and a couple winners up tonight, but you're still a winner, or you're going to be here with us today. So that's the main thing to keep in mind. All of them are great representatives of the fair, and I think they represent their families well, their communities, and I think each and every one of you should be proud of your daughters, your representatives, your fair representatives, whatever your relationship with the girls here today. But each one of you should be proud of these girls and what they stand for and represent. And please give them another big round of applause. Well, it's about time to put these girls back to work again. We put them through the 10-minute interview this morning, or earlier this afternoon, I shouldn't say this morning, but this afternoon. And now our judges have decided they would like for each one of our young ladies to select a word from our basket over here. We'll get that in just a moment. And girls are going to explain how it applies to your life, okay? A word and how it applies to your life. And I'm going to let you hold the microphone.
We don't need any more. All right,
Shuffle into that.
All right, District 1. Come on up. How does motivation apply to your life?
I think that motivation has been, it applies to my life so greatly. You know, within 4-H and FFA and all of my activities, motivation has been my biggest factor, my biggest pusher. You know, that's what makes our fair happen. That's what makes, gives us the opportunity to be up here and be the queens and representing our counties as well as our districts. You know, motivation is what gives us the ability to become role models. So I think that's how motivation really applies to me, is that I've used it as a way I've been motivated to become a role model for those younger girls to look up to, or those younger 4-H members or FFA members or whoever it may be. So motivation has definitely been a huge part of my life, and I think that I would describe myself as a very motivated person. I have my goals and I set them, and once they're there, I want to achieve them, and I'm motivated until I know that I can reach those goals, and once I reach them, I set new goals, and then I'm motivated to do those.
District 2. How does the word encouragement apply to your life?
I think without encouragement, a lot of people wouldn't be where they are today. It takes a lot of encouragement just to get to where you are. Without my parents, my 4-H extension agent, pushing me to be my very best and helping me find my passion for agriculture, I wouldn't be where I am today. For example, I transferred schools my sophomore year to take the FFA program, and without those people pushing me and telling me to do my best and encouraging me to be where I am, I wouldn't have been on the path that I am today. So that's how that's how I use encouragement in my life.
District 3. How does the word commitment apply to your life?
In my life, when I commit to something, I give my absolute 150%, not just 100. I find myself to be a very committed individual, and I definitely was during my time and involvement in the fair. I believe that when you love something and you're motivated and inspired, and it becomes your life's work and your passion, commitment isn't such a scary word anymore. Thank you.
District 4. How does the word experience apply to your life?
When I hear the word experience, I take it in two different directions. First of all, I feel thankful for the experiences, the opportunities, the chances that I've been given to do so many amazing things in my life. I really do owe that to the people that have supported me and brought me through and struggled through so many things with me throughout my life. But I think of it in another way as well. I see it as a duty of each and every one of us as members of our fair, in whatever aspect that you are, to continue to work towards giving those experiences to the next generations. Youth truly are the future of agriculture for us, and if we hope to continue having the amazing county fairs and the amazing state fair that we get to experience, that we love so much, it's up to us to make sure that we continue to push forward, to strive for new experiences, continued and expanded opportunities that we can continue to give to those that come after us. And as queens, it's up to each of us to continue traditions while also embracing the new culture that we are surrounded by every day. Thank you.
District 5. How does the word success apply to your life?
Personally, I think that I have had any successes throughout my life, whether it's just as simple as completing a test or a class, or moving on to college and being the first of my siblings to complete a degree. Success can be something small, it can be something large, but it really depends on the person. For me, I see success every day that I wake up and I get to see someone smile, or I get to make them smile, or I just give them an opportunity to be happy. Thank you.
District 6. How does the word inspiration apply to your life?
Inspiration applies to my life because as a fair queen, I think it's really important to inspire the people that are in your county and across the state of Ohio. Inspiration to me has meant a lot of things throughout my life because growing up, I always had many mentors in 4-H and in my community who inspired me to get to where I am today. Thank you.
District 7. How does the word responsibility apply to your life?
Responsibility applies to my life in several different ways, but one way I've learned to be responsible is through 4-H. I have been in 4-H since I was 9 years old, and I've taken market hogs since I was 9 as well. And getting up early in the mornings and being at the barn really late at night, if you've got to be with your friends or you want to sleep in, you have that responsibility to take care of your animal. So 4-H has taught me a lot of things, but I think the most important thing it's taught me is responsibility. Thank you.
District 8. How does the word contribution apply to your life?
Contribution can apply to my life in a lot of different ways. One of them is just being part of 4-H and FFA. There's always people contributing to you and you're contributing to them. You're always gaining a greater experience. You're contributing to other people's lives, and just having that is a great thing and a great experience to contribute to others. Thank you.
District 9. How does the word achievement apply to your life?
Achievement is anything big or small to me, whether it's, like they said, just getting up in the morning and being able to make somebody smile, or just getting up in general. I feel like that's an achievement all on my own sometimes. But I feel like your achievements don't always define who you are, but they're definitely something that carries you throughout your life and you carry with you. But yeah.
Wonderful job, ladies. Wonderful job.
You remember what your word was? Did you remember the question?
I had a word. My word was honesty. I've already told everyone this story, so we'll just have a nice comedic break. I had the word honesty last year, and if any of my judges remember, God bless you, I said honesty is to be honest, and then I went on and I carried myself. So that's why, I always told the girls whenever we were at the district meetings, I even also, my gown was really long. I didn't want to hem it because I was just, I don't know, I wasn't being a planner. And I almost tripped into my interview, and then I also used honest to define honesty. So, and here we are, folks. So you know what? You just gotta be yourself. So I'm very, very proud of each of your responses. Very nice job.
Well, honestly, I think honest is Well, gang, what do you think now about these young ladies? Give them a big round of applause. I think we should elect them to Congress or something, don't you? We'd be a lot better off in a lot of cases, I think. Well, Girls, the hard part is over for you. Now, we're going to shift the burden of responsibility back to our judges, who I think Dan has already taken them out of the room. So, guess what? We get to fill some time. But before we do that, we're going to use some good use of our time, and I'm going to have Queen McKenzie to kind of give her year in review remarks at this time.
The Ohio Fairs Queen, a title I never knew I wanted or needed until I was given it. Truthfully though, it's more than just a title. It's a job, an opportunity, but overall a much needed wake-up call. I know that sounds a little odd, but stick with me here. Being the Ohio Fairs Queen is a multifaceted thing. You're a representative of youth in agriculture, OFMA, the fairs, a pillar of professionalism, a queen, but most importantly, you are a top-tier DJ. I can already see a few surprised faces as I said that, but just like I said, stick with me. Once you become the Ohio Fairs Queen, they tell you all about the traveling you're going to do, and they ask you questions about where you live in the state and how you absolutely need to come to their fair. But really what they should be asking you is if your car has good gas mileage or not, because they aren't lying on how much Ohio you'll truly get to see. It was wonderful. I kind of did a road trip across the state last year, and it was so much fun to share it with my family and all of you. Now, if you know me though, there are a few things that I need on a solid road trip. 1, comfy clothes. 2, the best snacks. And 3, an elite playlist. Over this past year, I've accumulated a pretty great playlist, including only the best of the best artists, such as Kenny Chesney, Parker McCollum, Reba, Ed Sheeran, and of course, my girl, Taylor Swift. Then me, being the somewhat planner that I am, I would try and make it so that our playlist or group of songs would last us the whole road trip. So if the drive lasted an hour, I would make sure the playlist did as well. And we all know the drill. Some songs hit the spot just right, and some though were just okay, so I would skip them. This now meant though that during my road trip, I not only would have less music to listen to, but my time wouldn't be filled. Altogether, there was something missing. What if we take a step forward and place this situation in a new light? What if life was the road trip and music was life's events and memories? Would you skip them then? All throughout last year, I'm sure you want to skip a few things, but what good would that do us? Trust me, I had my fair share of loss last year. We all did. But I don't know if I want to wish all those memories away. It taught me how to not take everything for granted, the meaning of hope and understanding, and ultimately, how to sing along to the song of life. Every fair board member or fair goer that I met are all notes, verses, and rhymes that went into my songs. The first occurred when I went to Pickaway County as my first fair. I was patiently waiting by the phone to get the call that I could start traveling. But as soon as that phone rang, I was out the door begging my parents to drive faster as we got there. As we walked onto the fairgrounds and saw all the new beautiful barns and buildings and a large gathering of junior and senior fair board members and supporters. Much to some people's surprise, I was extremely nervous to speak. This was my first impression on the Ohio Fairs, and I wanted to make sure it was a good one. So eventually it was my turn to speak, and I had no idea what to say or how to say it. Should I say something on how hard the year's been? No, I mean, that's what everyone says. Or maybe I should talk about my experience about Queen so far. Well, this is the only experience I've Queen so far, so it'll be extremely short. Finally, I chalked it up that I wasn't necessarily needed and I should just hurry up, speak, say hello to a few people, and then leave for the evening. However, when I was done speaking, the Pickaway Junior Fair Board did not let me go off that easy.
They were sure to give me the best experience possible through a tour, sharing their favorite ice cream spot, and even invite me back the next day at the fair for a pizza party. If my wish would have come true, and I would have skipped, and I would have left, I would have never had the opportunity to meet the hardworking members behind the success of the fair and have memories that I'll surely never forget. This was just one of the many times that I saw the importance of junior and senior fair boards and the overall success of the fairs and the irregular conditions of last summer. It continued more when I went to Clinton County Fair and Mr. Mike Hacker, and so the other senior fair board members made sure I was given the royal experience, even though their fair was a little bit quieter than that day than normal. We took the golf cart around, visited each spot that made Clinton County Fairgrounds so unique, like a renowned art and photography show. Mr. Hacker went above and beyond. He even got me to the sweet tea slushy truck. An act of kindness I will always be appreciative. These moments of joy continued as I went with the fair season. Whether this was making TikToks with dancing cows, getting another world-famous milkshake, or each time I met a new queen and saw the excitement in her eyes when she was crowned. These fairs, these people, these moments were all unwritten lyrics to one of my favorite years and one of the best songs. Folks, last year was rough. A lot happened. We lived through a global pandemic, saw our world completely flipped on its head, and I would never want to do it again, but that doesn't mean it wasn't worthy of being reflected upon. At the end of each year, the music streaming platform, Spotify, gathers data and shows your top songs played. I learned so much last year, and if I had the time of day to share them with you all, we would need some snacks and a lot comfier chairs. So I'll just share my top few with you. First, pause. Be present in the moment. Be here now, because you only get one chance at it. Don't miss it because you're too worried about the what-ifs in life. Be thankful for where you are and who you're with. Last year wouldn't have been possible without the love and support of the OFMA board, and I will always cherish our Zoom calls and time together. I'm proud to have been added to such a special family. To the Montgomery County Fair family, thank you for allowing me to represent you in the Ohio Fairs this past year. I wouldn't have done it without your constant love, support, and occasional phone call. Mom, thank you for being my personal chauffeur, photographer, karaoke partner, and one of my biggest role models. Let's be honest, you're the true queen here. Dad, you're always my biggest cheerleader, and I wouldn't want to be the person I am today without your constant support for my dreams. Mitch and Ben, thank you for humbling me when needed. I'm sure you love me through every sarcastic comment and joke. I love you all endlessly. And Ohio Fairs, thank you for welcoming me into your fair families with open arms. I'm forever grateful to have met and spent time with you this past year. Second, replay. Don't be afraid to look back on the experiences and ask yourself the tough questions. Instead of asking, how are you doing, ask, how are you doing really? Instead of what happened today, ask what made you feel the most alive recently. Reflecting back on what you did and how it made you feel is the key to realizing exactly where you're at and how much you can move forward. I ask myself these questions often throughout my time, and each time I gained an understanding of how much I never knew how this year would impact me, and I'll always enjoy the time and memory shared as I look back in the future. Lastly, never skip. Don't skip through life wishing it away like I said earlier. Something will feel missing. Each day, moment, purpose, and person will serve a purpose in your life. Just because it isn't clear now doesn't mean it doesn't have time to grow on you. I did not know why I was chosen to be the Ohio Fairs Queen this past year, but I'm honored to have spent a little over a year serving our state's fairs. I would have never wanted to skip through any part of this perfectly imperfect year. So Ohio, thank you. Thank you for this trip, and thank you for this song. It'll always be one close to my heart. Now, as much as I would like to pause on this song and hold on a little longer, it is time for mine to end and a new one to begin. To the new Ohio Bears Queen, I hope you're ready to experience a ride of a lifetime. May this journey help you grow and learn and make you sing and dance. Ladies and gentlemen, for the final time, I'm Mackenzie Hogue, the 2020 Ohio Bears Queen from Montgomery County.
I'm gonna cry. That was his responsibility. Jeez. I think we know why she was chosen as the Ohio Bears Queen. She said they referred to that as queen. I mean, it's obvious, and we give her a big round of applause. I know Dan Martin and I have had the pleasure and privilege of working with this Queen pageant for years, or not Queen pageant, Queen event for years. And the thing that we remark about every year is the change these young ladies make from the day they're crowned until the day basically they're giving up their position as queen. It's just, I cannot explain to you the how they change and they improve and they mature. It blows my mind. These young people can make that much of an improvement in just 1 year. But I think it's truly because of our strong affairs, our families. Families have done an excellent job with these young ladies. There's no doubt about it, no question. And it's a team effort. This whole thing is, and that's why we enjoy having these young ladies as part of our convention every year. And hopefully, in 22, we'll be back in full swing and have the full blown event. And Mackenzie, you referred to family. You are part of our ultimate family. You will always be a part of our ultimate family. So you're always welcome back. Anything and everything you do, that's just a real fun. And if anybody gives you in trouble, you see Dan and I, we'll take care of it. Okay? All right. Well, like I said, basically the hard part is over for all of us. We get to have some fun now.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's see. What do we want to do? Well, I guess I better take care of a little house cleaning chores here. Again, I want to thank our sponsors, the Eagles Golf Cart Company of Carroll, Ohio, the Ohio Soybean Farmers, the Illinois Golf Cart Company, the Ohio Harness Sportsmen's Association, and Syngenta for sponsoring this event and many of our events throughout the convention. A lot of these sponsors have been with us for many years, and we're thankful to them. So any way we can support them in any of their efforts, we would definitely appreciate it. Well, this whole event is not just about picking a queen and going on and having a queen just do this and do that. This whole process, we feel, we try to make it an educational process. We try to make it a fun process. Now, the end of this year has been a little bit different. We haven't been able to do all the normal things we've done. But we try to resemble our year as close as possible, and hopefully you've got some good memories. That's one of the main things. We want you to have some great memories as our Home Bears Queen. All right, enough talking to me. We're going to go back here to these girls. You had a question you want to ask them just for fun and to see what it's about.
So normally, they get asked a very funny question. Last year was mine. It was if I had two. If I was a truck, what model of truck I would be, and if I was a tractor, what model of tractor I would be. Thank goodness I remembered what my dad and my brothers drove. However, I'm not going to put these young ladies through it. So we're going to do something a little bit easier. If you were a cow, what would your name be? We'll start off with you right here, District 1.
If I were a cow, I think my name would be Sadie, because that is my all-time favorite cow that we have. She can be a little bit stubborn sometimes, just a little, but she's also really sweet and kind, and yeah, so I'd be Sadie.
So if you know me, I work on a dairy farm, and it's a good time, I guess. We had this one cow, she was a Jersey, and her name was Goat. We call her Beta Goat. So I would probably be her, because she's kind of slow and nosy, but she gets the job done. So that's what my name would be.
Mackenzie asked me this earlier, and I answered with no hesitation. So I live on a dairy farm with my family, and my name is Mosey. So my name as a cow would be Mosey.
So unlike my fellow queens, I do not have any kind of cow in my life. But if I were to be a cow, this is very specific, I would like to be a red cow. Any breed, but a red cow, and I'd like my name to be Fancy. And if you understand the Reba McEntire reference, yes, that is what I would like to embody as a cow.
If I were a cow, I would probably name it after one of my favorite singers from the 70s would be Cher, just because I really love her fashion sense and I really love how outgoing she is, so I think I would be Cher as a cow.
Similar to Sarah, I also would like to be a red cow because of the red hair going on. I would probably name my cow Buttercup, only because every time I see a red cow, that's what I think of, so.
Okay, so if you know me, my biggest fear is cows.
I'm so sorry.
I'm not gonna say that as fair queen, right? So when I was younger, I was livestock queen, and when I was giving out ribbons at the fair, a cow got loose and stuck on a little kid, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm terrified. But if I had a name, I would name it Sunshine so that I wouldn't terrify little kids like myself.
Was it if I had a cow or if I was a cow?
If you were a cow.
If I was a cow, I'm going to be a Holstein named Daisy, and here's why. So my great-grandmother's name is Daisy for one thing, but also there's like a fun camp song like with Daisy in it, isn't it? It's like really funny, so I think that'd be fun. And I have like little Daisy in my hair, floppy ears, all cute thing. It'd be great.
I was sitting there, I was putting a lot of thought into this, you know. I want to be a Hereford, because those are my favorite. My dog, he's a red Merle Aussie. He looks like a Hereford. I call him Hereford all the time. Anyway, if I were a cow, I think I want to be called Agnes, because I feel like that's like an old but like hard name, you know? Or like a cow.
Now, if I were a cow, I don't know what my name would be. Maybe.
Honestly.
Honestly. Hey now. Yeah, T Swift. Maybe we make it like a Taylor Swift reference. Or Poppy. I think Poppy's a really cute cow name. Probably because like I'm also very nosy, so I just like pop my head in and probably like get to everyone's business. But that's what I would be. Are we doing another round of questions or
One more.
one more? Okay.
Got one?
No, you have one. Come on. It's your time to shine.
I've got a whole pocket full. Let's look in here and see what's
The tractor one, is that one that you repeat?
Okay, we're going to start with 9 this time. We're going to go that way, that's less time to think, okay? All right, the question this time, girls, is who has been the biggest influence in your life and why?
Oh, gosh. The biggest influence in my life would have to be a tough tie between my sister and my mom. Only because we're all three like best friends. We go everywhere together. We do everything together. And they stuck with me the entire time. So, but yeah, I mean, those two are literally my biggest fans in life, and I'm forever grateful.
You need your question repeated.
That was good.
Who has been the biggest influence in your life and why?
So just like Grace, I have a lot of great influences within my life, but I'm going to say two because I can't just choose one. My greatest influences are definitely my parents and my 4-H advisor. So I'm going to touch my 4-H advisor, then I'll go backward to my parents. So my 4-H advisor, you probably think is my twin, okay? We both talk very fast, we're both very bubbly, we're very big extroverts, and we're always just go, 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 okay? She'd definitely be one of my biggest influences. Another one of the big influences would be my parents. They've always encouraged me to go big or go home, to always shoot for the stars, and I'm grateful for that, so thank you.
Question repeated? Okay.
It's very generic, but it's very true. And I can't pick one either, but I would have to pick both of my parents because they are both very hardworking and very genuine people, and they've always taught me to be very genuine and hardworking as well. So I will take that as I enter a new phase of my life, and yeah, walk with that. So thank you.
I would say my biggest impact in life, the person who's had the biggest impact in my life is definitely my mom. We've kind of been trapped in the house with COVID recently, so we've kind of have to learn to love each other's flaws. But she's definitely really helped me this past year, especially as Fair Queen. I mean, she's always told me to go for those stars and do as much as I want to do, and I'm really excited to have a mom like her. I love you, Mom.
There's so many people that had a great influence on my life, but I'm the youngest of 3, and my older sister who's here with me today, she would have to be the biggest influence. I think she's 8 years older than me, and we just, even though the age gap was there, she always treated me like I was one of her own best friends. I would go hang out with them whenever they would go out on weekends, and she truly is my best friend and a great role model, and I look up to her every single day. Thank you.
So surprising to my parents, I'm sure, I would say that my biggest influence is my 2 older brothers. I'm sure that's not what they thought I was going to say. No one ever gives credit to their older siblings in a good way, but they're not here, so it's okay. I grew up with 2 very different older brothers that kind of guided my lives in 2 very different ways, whether it was deciding what I definitely did not want to be or do, or things that I could look up to them for doing. And that's something that I'm incredibly thankful to have had the opportunity for, and that I can continue to have a relationship with them and still grow and learn from the things that they do. Thank you.
Alright, just like how I believe every single queen up here has said, you know, their biggest influence, they have so many. I gotta say both of my parents have been, but more particularly my dad. He moved here about 21 years ago from the Netherlands, absolutely knowing nobody, but just chasing after his one dream of owning a dairy farm. Sorry, I told myself not to cry. And he's just taught me, just if you want something, you run after it and don't be afraid. And thank you, Dad. Thanks.
I'm looking at my mom, and I think she's like, oh, what's she gonna say? And actually, no, but actually they are my biggest influence. They worked really hard, and I'm really happy that it happened in my life, so thank you.
Just like many of the other queens, I've had so many people that influence my life, from coaches to trainers to 4-H advisors and FFA advisors, but I definitely think that my biggest one is my dad. Sorry. He's been my rock like my whole life, always been there no matter what. If I mess up, he's there, he's like, hey, listen, I know you messed up, but like, we can get through this. Like, it's okay. Like, we'll get through this, you know, you can do better. And no matter what I do, he's always there to encourage me and push me to be my best.
right, I'll say my biggest influences. Mitch is looking at me like with a death stare, so my biggest influences, Mitch, I'm just kidding. I would say one of my biggest influences, yes, is my family, both my parents and my siblings, like I said before. But a really great influence that I've had is my ag teacher, Mrs. Betsy Martin. Mrs. Martin really just like taught me a lot of things in life. But most importantly, like she taught me that I'm capable and I'm worthy of a lot of things that I don't think I am of. So, love her.
Okay, we're going to hear from Fair Managers President Rod Auger at this time, and then we will then go to the part you all have been waiting for. Not you, Ron.
Okay. I know they're not waiting on me. I would just like to thank, your parents and family that supported these girls through all this. I can't say enough about this young lady. 2 years ago, I guess it was January of 2020, she was elected Fair's Queen before I was elected president of the FMA. We left the convention thinking we had some kind of plan. Obviously, the plan didn't work, and we've been replanning ever since. And today's part of where the plans led us. But before I forget my housekeeping, I want to thank my wife, my sister, Roger's wife, Mrs. Debo, and my son for taking care of everything back here today. My wife has spent all these decorations and everything up here come out of our house, so we've been hauling and back. Some of the stuff she had ready 3 weeks ago, a month ago, once she knew we was going to have it. And we had told the girls at the spring meetings we was going to try to do everything we could. And we've tried, believe me. So anyway, but that being said, just thank you for being here. Come back. We got a little bitty fair here that we do a pretty good job putting on. 240 acres on flat land, and we're, I think, second in the state giving money out to kids in 4-H, so we have a pretty good 4-H show here. But you're all welcome to come, and I'll let Tim do the part we're waiting on. Thank you.
Thank you, President Rob. As one of my list of things to do is to thank all the people. I also want to thank Hartford Independent Fair, Roger, for hosting this event. It takes a lot of work to put on an event, and like you said, they worked and set this up. I also want to thank Rob and Rhonda for providing all the refreshments. They personally have paid for all this and provided all this, so make sure you thank them for putting on these refreshments here for us this afternoon. Well, thank you, Rob and Rhonda. Thank you, Hartford Independent Fair. Okay. I'm going to let you do the honors. I'll hold the microphone. It just so happens I have an envelope.
No way.
I do. It just mysteriously appeared in my pocket. So I'm going to let you open it and announce the result.
Can you turn around so we don't see it? So we don't see it.
I'm so sorry. We didn't see it, we just didn't.
Your second runner-up, from Richland County, Natalie Snyder. First runner-up, from Highland County, Sarah Newsom.
I don't need it for this one.
Ladies and gentlemen, your 2021 Ohio Fairs Queen, from Clark County, Mosey Von She sat up.
Kneel down a little bit. This is like the awkward part.
You're fine.
We're gonna grab the chair, actually.
Roger. This isn't the first time Mackenzie's done something with my hair.
Thank you, that's appreciated.
You're good. You're gonna have to teach me how to do it.
She's a nose.
I'm gonna wipe my tears real quick. Happy moment. Alright, we think we're good.
All right, we're going to pause photos. We're going to have everyone else come up and join us around. So just surround us right here on each side.
While we're pausing for the pictures, I do want to thank, I don't know if our judges, I think at least, yeah, all three here. Please give our judges a big round of applause. How would you like to have this passed today? Thank you, Ann, Zoe, and Julie.
You should have just said.